Woke up, you were nowhere to be seen. The world was burned to the ground. There was no one around. Mommy, mommy, please answer me. What does it mean? What does it mean? We are visitors here in this time and space. One day we'll have to leave, whether or not you believe or agree. Remember, this world is a dream. Remember, this world is a dream. How many have gone before me? How many will come after I'm gone? The truth will live on. The truth will live on. Long after I'm gone, the truth will live on. The world is at the end of its cycle. You're the messenger, the oracle. Humanity have reached its pinnacle. Balance and harmony right in the vehicle. Supreme is dreaming of the particles. The experience to coming into the world and explore is temporary. Lose all attachment and desire. When it's time to leave, be ready. Self-realization shatters all illusion, fear, ignorance, or worry. Remember, this world is a dream. Remember, this world is a dream.
Yes. Remember, this world is a dream. Remember, this world is a dream. Hail, hail to all the Ionites. Much honor. Yes, now is the time. Like the song says, remember, remember, this world is a dream. It is a liberation time. It is a liberation time right now. Change is inevitable because why? This duality must end. So I want to say welcome, welcome. Thank the I for joining Yes, in this Black History Month series. Change is inevitable. I want to say much honor and reverence. Salutation to all the I selves in alignment to restore balance to all the I selves. Inhale to the I Self Supreme, non-being, stillness, unmanifest, singular, true, pure self. Hail to the I Self, primal light, the one true light. Hail to all the I and I selves in alignment to restore balance. Defending the I Self from all these ego false self character, and is here in alignment to dissolve this dream. So I want to highlight what this talk will be on. Change is inevitable, and that this duality must end. I know y'all want to stay inside of a dream forever, but a change is inevitable. This change is imminent. All souls are free, and all selves are free. I am primal light, prepared for this dream duality existence. In this form, with this avatar, Set Mahat. I am the daughter of the I self, parent self, Aten Ra. And so this duality must end. This is the destiny of all the I and I selves in alignment to end this duality. There's a change, there's a great change that must take place. The change within the I self, the change within all aspect of the I self, that is the existence. This change is inevitable. The theme of this is change is imminent. And so I want to introduce you to the story of the sky and the earth. This is an African story. And I'm using this story because I am highlighting for this Black History Month, and I am going to explain the theme of this story. So, the story of the sky and the earth. So the theme of this is change is inevitable. Without change, we remain stagnant. The ego fears what it does not understand. The mind fears what it doesn't know. And this change is imminent. It is inevitable, and there is nothing that the ego and none of the ego characters can do to stop this change from happening. It is happening. This change is happening. Right now, this change is happening. Right? And so, the story of the sky and the earth. So I want to highlight that the change is inevitable. The ego fears this change that is taking place right now. The mind fears what it does not understand. Know that without truth, without vision, the people perish. Without change, there is no growth. One remains stagnant. This mind, this ego has been stagnant for eons, for ages. It has not evolved. This ego, this mind has been like this for eons, from the beginning of time. This mind, this ego, this consciousness has been the same way, corrupted, evil, sick, madness, all of these things, and has not changed. And now is the time when this change must take place. And so I want to get into sharing this story because I want you to imagine if you were to stay a baby forever. Remember when you was this little tiny infant and someone had to take care of you, being vulnerable, always needing someone to take care of your needs, always dependent on another for your survival. Do you really want to live forever in this baby body? Don't know yourself, in a lot of ignorance, doing a lot of crazy things. Your mind is mad and delusional. Do you really want to stay in that forever? Where do we go from here? And what is next? So, please allow me to share this story with the story of the sky and the earth. The sky and the earth existed in darkness. There was no light. The sky was very close to the earth, and as a result of this, the trees did not grow. There were no flowers, and the water was dark. It was not clear and it was not bright. The earth and the sky were content and did not know any other way. So they did not complain. As time goes by, eventually the sky and the earth, they had a son, whom was called the Shining One. When she was small, she had a vision, and she told it to the earth. Mother Earth, she said, I had a vision, and it was that the sky was far up above us. There was a bright light, and it made you more radiant than I ever saw you. What could this light have been? I do not know, my Shining One, she answered, for there is nothing but the earth and the sky. When the Shining One was fully grown, Shining One said to the sky, Father Sky, will you not go up higher up, that there may be light and warmth on the earth? There is no higher up, declared the sky. There is just here. Then Shining One raised the sky till the sky was resting on the mountain peaks. Oh, oh, cried the sky. They hurt. The peaks are sharp and rough. You are an unkind and cruel child. In my vision, you were still higher up, replied Shining One, and she raised the sky up till it was higher and higher. Oh, oh, complained the sky. I can hardly see the peaks. I will stay on the rough rocks. No, you were far above the rocks in my vision, replied Shining One. Then when the sky was raised above the earth and no longer touched even the peaks, a great change came over the earth. She too had thought the Shining One unkind, and she had said, Shining One, it was only a vision. Why should you change the sky and the earth? Why not let them stay as they were before you had the vision? Shining One said, change is inevitable. I know this ego fear change. We fear what we do not know and understand. Without truth, without a vision, the people perish. Oh, Mother Earth, she said, I wish you could see the radiant change that has come to pass. The air is full of light and warmth and fragrance. You yourself are more beautiful than you were ever, even in my vision. Listen and hear the song of the birds. See the flowers blooming in every field and even covering the rough peaks of the mountains. Should you be glad if I had let all things stay as they were? Was I unkind to make you so much more beautiful than you were? Before the earth could answer, the sky began to complain. You have spread over earth a new cloak of green, and of course she is beautiful, and all her flowers and birds. But here I am raised far above the mountain peaks. I have no cloak, nor have I flowers and birds. Shining One, give me a cloak. That will I do, and most gladly, replied the Shining One. And she spread a soft cloak of dark blue over the sky, and in it many a stars sparkled and twinkled. That is very well in the night, said the heavens, but it is not good in the daytime. It is too gloomy. Give me another cloak for the day. Then the Shining One spread a light blue cloak over the sky for the daytime, and at last the sky was as magnificent as the earth. Now both the sky and the earth were contented. I did not know that the earth was so radiant, said the sky. I did not know that the sky was so beautiful, said the earth. I will send a message to tell her how lovely she is, thought the sky. And he dropped down gentle little rains. I too will send a message, thought the earth, and the clouds shall carry it for me. That is why there is often a light cloud rising from the earth in the morning. It is carrying a good morning message from the beautiful earth to the sky. Now, I want us to take a look at the story of the sky and the earth, right? In the story, the sky and Father Sky and Mother Earth, they resisted the change. Shining One had a vision, and Shining One saw the way that the earth and the sky was supposed to be existing. And Father Earth and Mother Sky resisted this change. But what? Because Shining One had a destiny, Shining One had to fulfill the destiny, even though, Father Sky was complaining and the Mother Earth was complaining. It was a destiny that when you have to do it, you have to do it anyways, regardless. Shining One had a vision and was given the destiny to implement this change. The process to achieve change can be frightening. In this duality, change is imminent. There's a change that is about to take place, that's about to happen in this world and within all the I and I selves. This mind, this ego is afraid. There is no need for the I to be afraid. This change must happen for the betterment for all the selves, for the liberation from the self, from slavery and from bondage and from being tyrannical rulership by all the duality dream characters. What is the state of the I? What is the state the I is in right now? The state the I is in bondage. The I is in slavery. The I do not see it because you do not know any better, just like Mother Earth and Father Sky. Right? In the story, the I self do not know any better. The I have been in slavery and bondage. And know the change that is to happen is for liberation for the I self, but the I is afraid. What is the vision to come? Balance and harmony, dissolution of this duality, dissolution of all evil. This is what is to come. The I is programmed into the ego and into this body, and the I does not want to let go of this body and this ego, this mind. But the I must do this. You are not doing it willingly, just like Mother Earth and Father Sky. You're crying and you're whining, and many ones are fighting against the self. Like, what are they doing? Shooting rockets at the self, letting off bombs and nuclear weapons and all of these things, breaking up the atoms and creating all of these chaos on the self, using the atom to create all of these robots, splitting up the atoms and using all the parts to create evil. The I is harming the I self and is putting the I self in bondage. You want to put yourself in bondage. You don't even know who you are. Ego, false selves. This duality must end. Why you want to stay into this body? Imagine if you were to stay a baby forever, being vulnerable, always needing someone to take care of your needs, always dependent on another for your survival. Do you really want to live forever in this baby body? Where do we go from here? What is next? There's a big change that is about to happen. I am here preparing you for this change. Stop being resistant. Like Mother Earth and Father Sky was being resistant in the story. But this duality must end. Change is inevitable. Change is here. It's time now to change from duality to non-duality. Change is imminent. I, Self-Supreme, is here to bring about the great transformation. Now I am asking you, will the I unify with the I self that you call the soul? That you have, that is your real self, that you've been giving away willy-nilly, putting it in slavery. Will you now stop this ignorance and unify with yourself, called the soul? Or will you continue as this ego false self? You want to stay inside this box forever? Really? Come on now. Come on now. So, I want to highlight, what do the blacks want? Because since I am doing this in honor of this Black History Month, because why does the blacks need a month to say their history? Because their cultural history has been wiped out. Just like how all of the I self history has been wiped out, and I do not know the I self. So this what happened with the blacks. They were brutalized. They suffer a genocide. And the blacks say, all we want is freedom, equality for everyone. This is what the blacks say they want. So you can let me know in the comment section what the blacks want, because this change is inevitable. And I am going to tell you that it is time for all the I and I to see all as the I self. What does the whites want? World power. Servants want to continue enslaving us inside of a dream world. They want everyone to fear them. They want all the natural resources for themselves. They want to see the blacks killing each other and all zombied out on drugs. They want to reign supreme. So you can tell me in the comment section what else the white wants. They want to be liberated from this soul slavery. I want all the I to know that they need to start seeing all as the I self, because from that which you came, you will return. I love this poster. They want us to hate each other. Don't let them win. And who are they? Them who are the fake selves in this world, who are the ruling class, who are hiding under their black and white sheets, ruling the world and programming the minds of all of the ones them, stirring up confusion, stirring up hatred. For once you are busy fighting against each other, can there be self-unification? When you are busy fighting against each other, can there be any self-unification? It is time now for self-unification. All is myself. Come on, I want you to say this with me. All the whites, all the blacks and the in-betweens, the browns. All is myself. I am one with all. If you cannot come to this realization that all is oneself, just like all the myriads of flowers in a garden, they're just each expressing their own individual journey of the duality, and all rise from oneself. All is myself. I am one with all. Pay attention. Every time they put something out, they're stirring up your emotions so that you can be distracted while they spread propaganda and enslave the souls, and also get you busy following some stupid nonsense so you cannot liberate yourself from slavery. And so you don't know what they're doing, trying to break up the atoms, trying to shoot rockets through the existence to break the dome, because they want to destroy the self so that they can rule as the supreme ego, the supreme devil over everyone and over their self. This is what they want, but this will not happen because the change is here. This duality must end. This is time now for all of the I and I selves. Stand up and know that you, the whites against the blacks and the blacks against the white, believe me, this is all they want. Because they are fake selves in every color of skin that you are wearing, every body that you are wearing. So you do not know who's the real self and who's the fake self. You are going to tell by their deeds. Right? So I am saying that it's time for self-unification. Stop looking at these bodies. Can you see your invisible self? Because it is ignorance that they have spread. Because if you could see yourself, you would see that yourself is black. Everyone that is the real self, the self is black. Do you see the existence? Do you see the existence? They have programmed you and telling you all wrong because you have never seen yourself what it looks like. That energy is black. This is why it is invisible to you. You cannot see it because it's a black energy. All black. Like, what are you fighting over? You're fighting against yourself because yourself, your real self, is black. This existence is black. All the real is black. I know scientists saying dark energy. Does that look dark to you? No, it is black. It is black. Say black. They don't want to say it is black. That all of the atoms, everything is black. It's invisible to them. The neutrons, black. But they have the technology where they are fighting against the self, the energy, because they have these dualities, demons, and all of these things that have taken over their body. And they are all the fake selves. And this is why they are fighting. You think they care about you in wearing the white skin? No, they don't care about you in the black skin. They don't care about anyone but themselves, because they will slaughter anyone that they get, sodomize, and do all of this craziness. And they want us to pitch against each other because they are not for us. They are against us. They are against us because they are the supreme ego and they have no lights and they are fighting against us. It is time for us to unify with the I self, to unify as one self, and dissolve this ego. So, what is Aset Mahat's role? I want y'all to know this. I am not here to choose sides. I want to make this very clear. All the blacks sending iMessage to join a mission against the white, I say this is self-unification now. Ego false self must be dissolved for the real self to take precedence. Only the ego wants to choose side. Our mission is against all duality ego, regardless of the body it is disguised in. Aset Mahat is here to dissolve the ego. This is the I destiny. Mahat is here to make sure justice on behalf of the I real one true self, for balance to be restored back onto the I self. Because what? This duality must end. This dream must end. Mahat represents truth. I am not here to choose sides. I am here for balance. Mahat represents truth and is symbolically by a feather weighing against the heart, which represents your good and bad deeds while you are living. So, have you been taking responsibility for your actions and doing the right thing? Now is the time to do the right thing, to dissolve this ego, to rid yourself of all sins and karma by dissolving this ego false self and to unify into the I self that you call a soul, that you think is something that you have to give away willy-nilly and put into slavery. The time now is to dissolve this false self and to be the I real self. The soul should not be something you have, but it should be yourself. This is also where the heart being light as a feather and having a good heart has its origin by being with Mahat, being the feather weighing against the heart. This is what is happening right now. When all the dualities, Mahat is personification of truth, balance, order, harmony, righteousness, morality, justice, and self-unification. Now is the time for self-unification, for restoration of balance unto I self. And so I ask, is your heart light as a feather, or is it being weighed down by all the evil that you have been doing in this world? Are you ready to dissolve all of this and to return to being your real and true self? Know that change is now. I have to change from duality to non-duality. All the duality, all the ego, false self, whether wearing a body, called a human being, whether you're black, white, or you're brown, all of the gods, all of the deities, all devil, Satan, whatever name they call themselves, aliens, whatever creature, monster it be, it is all an aspect of the I self. And all of these aspects of the I self must come through I before that they can get to the I self. All of them must come to I. So when I am doing these talks, know that there are many ones that come to sit around I to listen to what I am saying. They are invisible to you because you don't know yourself and you don't know what your real self look like, and you don't know what all your other self them look like because you're in ignorance. So now is when the I must do what is necessary. Stop whining, stop complaining, just like Mother Earth and Father Sky. They did not know, they did not understand the vision that Shining One had. So if you don't understand the vision and you are afraid because I am saying that this world must be destroyed, this duality must be destroyed, you think that it is something bad that's going to happen. Why not? Why let it stay? This is what the Father Sky and Mother Earth saying. Why do you want to follow what's in your vision? Why do you not want things to stay the way that they are? Do you really want things to stay the way that they are? Have you seen the mess of the mind of all the beings? Like Shining One, Aset Mahat had a vision. She sees the real. The I is here to restore balance to the I self. It is the destiny of I, Aset Mahat. Change is inevitable. Change is imminent. Know this truth. The battle has always been the ego fighting against itself. Stand guard against your mind. Who is the enemy? It is the I mind. Be not afraid. This mind is afraid because this mind is a creation of the dream, and it can only exist in a dream state. It's time now, when the consciousness wake up and this ego is dissolved. I dissolve this ego, false self. I dissolve this ego. Change from duality to non-duality. Duality must end. And right now, I said, I file a case against this duality consciousness, the supreme ego, the mind of Ra and Set. I file a case, I, the real self, on behalf of all the I and I self, the real self, versus the duality consciousness, the supreme ego. I file a case against this duality consciousness, the supreme ego from which all evil stems. Duality state brings corruption, confusion, and madness to rise from the consciousness. Christ consciousness, whatever consciousness, Krishna consciousness, whatever consciousness you want to call it, is the same duality consciousness. I file a case against this consciousness. Consciousness, the supreme ego, imprisoned itself, its real self, to create a fake self. This supreme ego, the mind, imprisoned itself so that it could create a fake self. This fake self is a danger to the I, the real self. This detrimental ramification of this duality consciousness, I want to make known all the detrimental ramification of this duality consciousness. This consciousness has waged a war against itself. The ego is a danger to the I self. This supreme ego cursed the self and cocooned the self inside a coffin of magnetic energy. I file a case against this duality consciousness. This duality consciousness put itself into sleep, then it entranced the self in its dream and only fight against the self, that the self does not come awake from sleeping. This ego takes precedence over the self, and pandemonium pursues. I file a case against this duality consciousness, the supreme ego, from which all evil stems. Duality state brings corruption, confusion, and madness. Cause this to rise from the consciousness. Consciousness, the supreme ego, imprison itself to create a fake self. This fake self is a danger to the I, the real self. This duality consciousness must be dissolved. This duality must end. I call for the dissolution of this duality consciousness. I file a case against all duality, ego, false self. The real self versus the duality, ego, false self. I file a case against all duality in a human form and whatever name they call themselves, Caucasians, the whites, the blacks, the browns. I file a case against all duality, ego, false self, the real self versus the duality, ego, fake selves. For soul slavery, the torture and tyrannical rulership by all gods, whatever name they call themselves. For the spirit slavery, the amount of shamans, witches, and wizards aiding the gods in their soul slavery. I file a case against all these sex cult and sodomy for the blood sacrifice and human sacrifices. Why are so many people going missing? I file a case against all of these dualities for the ignorance of the gods, the mental sickness of the gods, the ancestors, angels, devils, Satan, whatever name they call themselves. I file a case against all this duality, ego, false self that are in self-ignorance. They do not know themselves. Now the gods, they come to rape me and torture me. I file a case against all of the ego, false selves. I file a case against all these duality, ego, false self. I stand representing I and I self, all the I and I selves in alignment to restore balance. All the I and I self versus all the duality, ego, false self. File a case against the ego, false self for the enslavement of the I self, called a soul, and the spirit self. For the mind control and spiritual attack on the I self. For being an obstruction to the dissolution of this dream illusionary world. I file a case against all these dualities, false self wearing human bodies, for the trickery and deception to enslave the selves, called souls, and to entice one to stay inside of this dream, for the mental slavery and mental sickness scams, for planning and shooting rockets to break the dome of safety for this dream. I file a case against you, all you ego false selves, for creating devices to trap the spirit and to enslave them, to trapping the souls and enslaving them. I file a case against you for creating all this evil. I file a case against all you duality, ego, false selves wearing human bodies for the rape and the sodomy of babies and children, for the hatred and the genocide of I, for the genocide and slavery of all the personalities in the dream world. I file a case against you for all the crime committed against the I self, the spirit self, the soul self, against the earth, against all the self playing the role of the existence, for the blatant attack against the I, the real self, for all your weapons of destruction that you use against the I file a case against you for the murder in the name of the gods, for all human sacrifice and bloodbath, for all war crime against the I self-wearing bodies, for the drug abuse pandemic, for the enslavement and genocide of the I file a case against you. All duality, ego, false self. I file a case against all this duality, ego, false self. The real self versus the ego, false self. I stand, I set my heart on behalf of all the I and I selves. And I file this case against all the duality, ego, false self, wearing bodies, human beings, humankind, all the gods, the devils, the satans, whatever name they call themselves, aliens, Luciferian, Lucifers. I present this case to the I Self Supreme Parent Self, Aten Ra. Do the I accept this case? I present this case to the I Self Supreme, all the void selves. Do the I accept this case? I present this case to the I Self Supreme that has no name, that can't be explained, the unmanifest. Do the I accept this case? I present this case to the I Self Supreme Primal Light, the one true light. Do the I accept this case? I present this case to all the I and I selves in alignment to restore balance to I self. Do the I and I accept this case? I present this case to the I Self Supreme, the one true self, non-being, unmanifest, stillness, singular, pure, true self. Do the I accept this case? I file a case against all the duality, ego, false self. I file a case and I hand this case over to the I self. Thank you for accepting I case against all the duality, ego, false selves, the gods, also known as the deities, the ancestors, the angels, the archangels, the aliens, the devils, Lucifers, Satan, demons, monsters, human beings, humankind, the whites, the blacks, the browns, all dualities, all ego, false self on every plane of existence. I am in command. I am in command. I exercise the command given to I. I call for justice for the I self against all duality, ego, fake self. I have been a witness and a victim of the level of tyranny and brutality displayed by the duality, ego, false self against the I. I, Aset Mahat, calls for a dissolution of this ego. I call for a dissolution of this dream illusionary world. I command that this consciousness awake and return to truth. I command that this ego be dissolved right here, right now. I command that evil, slavery, tyranny be no more. I command that all the I sleeping must be awake from sleeping. I command that this duality creation be destroyed, never to be no more. Everything that I have created, I demolish it. I return to my ultimate true state. I file a case against all duality, ego, false self. The self versus the duality, ego, false self. I, Aset Mahat, is in command. I, self supreme, non-being, unmanifest, stillness, the one true, pure self is in command. As I have commanded, so let it be. So it is. I am in command of the commandment command. I am in command of the commandment command. As I have commanded, so let it be. So it is. Everything that I have created, I demolish. Everything that I have created, I demolish. I am free from my imaginary bondage. I am free from my imaginary bondage. I return to my ultimate true state. I return to my ultimate true state. I alone exist. I alone exist. I am the blackness. I am the blackness. I return to my ultimate true state. I return to my ultimate true state. I am the blackness. I return to my ultimate true state. From that which I came, I return. From that which I came, I return. I am primal light, prepared for this world, with this identity as Aset Ma'at. I am all. I want you to remember that this world is a dream. It is time to dissolve this dream. It is time to castrate your ego. Take off your ego disguise. Time to remove your mask. Know this truth. I am blackness. I am the existence. And as you can see, this existence is black. Cannot be denied. So if you want to stay with your delusional mind and not see things as they are, then I don't know what to say to you. May all beings know the I self. I am primal light, prepared for the world. I bow to the I and I in self, in light, and in truth. Goodbye, world. Goodbye, world. Goodbye, world. Thank you for this experience in duality. But now I must return to my ultimate true state. Goodbye, world. Goodbye, world. Goodbye, world. Goodbye, world. Goodbye, world. Everything I have created, I demolish. Everything I've created, I demolish it. I am free from my imaginary bondage. I return to my ultimate true state. Goodbye, world. Goodbye, world. Goodbye, world. I transition from being to non-being. I move effortlessly with ease. From manifest to unmanifest. All aspects of myself unify with I. All is myself. I alone exist. I exist alone. I am all. Goodbye, world. Goodbye, world. Goodbye, world. Thank you for this experience in duality. But now I must return to my ultimate true state. Goodbye, world. Goodbye, world. I want to thank the I for joining I want you to know that this change is inevitable and no need for I to be afraid. It's time for balance and harmony. This ego wants to keep the dream going, but the time is to dissolve it. Now is to dissolve this dream.
Mommy, I had a dream. And when I woke up, you were nowhere to be seen. The world was burned to the ground. There was no one around. Mommy, please answer me. What does it mean? What does it mean? We are visitors here in this time and space. One day we'll have to leave, whether or not you believe or agree. Remember, this world is a dream. Remember, this world is a dream. How many have gone before me? How many will come after I'm gone? The truth will live on. The truth will live on. Long after I'm gone, the truth will live on. The world is at the end of its cycle. You're the messenger, the oracle. Humanity have reached its pinnacle. Balance and harmony right in the vehicle. Supreme is dreaming of the particles. The experience of coming into the world and explore is temporary. Lose all attachment and desire. When it's time to leave, be ready. Self-realization shatters all illusion, fear, ignorance, or worry. Remember, this world is a dream. Remember, this world is a dream. How many have gone before us? How many will come after we're gone? The truth will live on. The truth will live on. Long after I'm gone, the truth will live on. The truth will live on. Dreamers are the changes of the world. Dreamers are the saviors of the world. True self is dreaming of the world. Awake from the sleep, awake from the dream. Spirit and soul in union to be free. Fear has no power over me. I'm stabilizing the supreme. Who has light to see, let them see. New world is coming into being. Remember, this world is a dream. Remember, this world is a dream. How many have gone before me? How many will come after we're gone? The truth will live on. The truth will live on. Long after I'm gone, the truth will live on in the hearts of the children. I say in the minds of the people DNA. The truth will live on.